Welcome to Bander Al Junaidi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for accepting and being in the Leaders Mic first session.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
And once again, thank you for everybody for being here and supporting this initiative. So, Bander, in 3 minutes, tell us, who is Bander the person?
Okay. Before I tell you, I'm going to take you through a quick process of a story.
Nice.
This morning, usually every early morning, I check my calendar, all right? And I check what I have today. And I figured out there is something to do today evening. And I saw the Leaders Mic, and I was like, oh my God. I didn't prepare anything for that. And I was reflecting for a while, what should I tell those people? Those are leaders, smart people. I'm not gonna go and speak about myself as if I'm in an interview. I should tell them a little bit about myself. To know me better, right?
Yep, that's what it's all about.
And I was reflecting for a while. And I want to ask you a question. Just think about it. I will tell you what is it for me. Have you ever, or do you remember how you were introducing yourselves when you were kids? Just think about it for a while. Mm-hmm. In my childhood, I used to introduce myself with the things that I love. Things that I'm passionate about. Okay. أنا بندر أحب جريندايزر أحب جي آي جوز الأقزام الصغيرة اللي نلعب فيها أحب السيارات الصغيرة. And that introduction changed when I went to more grade 6, more intermediate. At that time I started to practice martial arts. And I used to introduce myself this way. أنا بندر، أنا ألعب كاراتيه، تحب الكاراتيه؟ تحب كونغ فو؟ أنا كمان، أنا ممكن أتعلم معاك كونغ فو. أنا عندي سيجا، عندك سيجا؟ I used to be an early adapter for technology. Okay. كمبيوتر عيلة أول ما طلع، أول شيء صخر عيلة، سيجا، Panasonic, whatever. So I used to identify myself as an early adapter for technology, even for the PCs أول ما جات. I was a little kid أنا تعلمت كيف أفك الكمبيوتر وكيف أغير الكاردز. كارت شاشة, hard disk, whatever.
MashaAllah.
And I used to introduce myself with something I'm passionate about, something I love. But in later stage, since we were أول ما دخلنا الجامعة وبدينا هذه الفترة الزمنية, university and our jobs, I realized that our introduction changed to become more identifying and labeling ourselves, starting by the major, and
Very
then
true.
with what we do.
Very true.
And that's so sad, by the way.
صحيح.
Because we
I
no
agree.
longer telling anything about what
Yourself.
we're passionate about, unless we become in a very safe environment that makes us able to tell people whether أحب أروح البحر، أحب أطلع دراجة، أروح الجيم, whatever.
صح.
But we don't tell that people from the beginning. So after that reflection, I decided to keep all the introductions that I used in interviews and in full meeting and aside. And I tell you more about Bander as a person. I lived in different cities. I worked in different industries. So I have a lot of diversity in my life, okay, that makes me more adaptable, all right?
It helped you maybe shape or be exposed to different
Yes.
traditions, different habits, different
And cultures.
Cultures.
Yes,
صح.
yes, yes. And that made me, since I was a kid, to become more curious about how others they think, what others they do, what others they like. And this curiosity made me pay more attention about what people do in their lives, what they like, what they dream about, what they think, what is their culture, etc. And from there, I become more passionate about people and how to help people to become more successful. And this is me. My name is Bander, and I'm so passionate about people and organizational success, and I love it when I see people happy.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. So basically, what shaped you in a way was the diversity, the exposure, and the curiosity.
Yeah.
Although historically we've been told curiosity killed the cat. This is what I've been told all my life, and I still am a curious person, and that's my why, terrible whys, terrible twos. I'm forever in that stage, because I think asking questions all the time is what broadens the perspective and adds value. طيب, so what shaped Bander as a leader?
Yeah, Look, speaking about the curiosity, by the way, it's a major component that makes us leaders, all right? Curiosity makes us solve problems. Curiosity makes us go and find other ways to succeed, to thrive. I told you, I was curious, and my curiosity made me an early adopter to more technology, more to understand about people. So this is maybe one of the factors. The other factor is that people used to depend on me a lot. And I've been through a family situation where my parents divorced since I was a little kid. So I was the one who was supporting my mother. I moved to live with her. That's why I told you I was in Mecca. I moved to Riyadh, and then things happened because I moved to live with my mom. And I was the responsible person since early age to be Rijal Bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all those together, I believe they shaped me to become more responsible.
You know, I think that the stories of our childhoods, there's always some kind of message and realization that I think we'd like to put underline for the generations and for our own kids, because you see responsibility, bearing responsibility from a young age creates stamina, creates strength, creates leadership. Today it's like لا حرام صغير خليه شوية لا حرام it's like and then they're unfortunately end up to be an unresponsible person that is more reliable on others instead of being self-reliant. So this is a wonderful point for us a takeaway towards our children.
I want to add in that actually I tried it the hard way, all right, and I don't wish this to any kid at that time. But there's something that I really wished to have at that time, and for that reason I'm passionate about helping people even without payment, even without getting paid. I mean, this is something I enjoy even for free. What I really missed at that time, I had no mentor, no one to tell me what I should do. Okay, so I was away from my dad. My dad's living, alhamdulillah, علاقتنا ممتازة الحين but at that time we were so away, and I had ما عندي أخ أكبر مني. I had nobody to guide me or to mentor me. So I've been through troubles. I mean, I've graduated from the high school حكومي 94%, but I didn't know where to go. جربت طب, didn't work with me. جربت هندسة, it doesn't work for me. And then I end up with management college and business college. Okay, because no one sat with me and told me, Bander, what do you love? What you're passionate about? What about that? And at that time, if you all remember, in our generation, I mean, people, طب هندسة, pick one. Those are the best. Okay, so I tried both. I didn't like them, honestly. But I fell in love with more business and marketing and sales and stuff like that. Okay, so I made a lot of mistakes. I wish if I could have someone to guide me, to give me a piece of advice that would save time, okay, and make me accelerate towards something that could be a bit focused.
You know what, if you don't mind me saying, I think that dabbling into things and realizing it's not me, but there's definitely some knowledge that's been gained there. So I think, accelerating in an earlier age for whatever reason, you would have missed out on other backgrounds that today somewhere it is there in the back of your mind that you are utilizing today and you don't even know it.
Yep.
But that takes us to the question of Bander today on a professional level. Take us through your professional journey and the highlights of what brought you to where you are today.
Okay. So let me connect my first job with having no mentor, all right? So I don't know if this is the case for most of you, but we don't likely to have the option to pick our first job. Okay, جاتني وظيفة, يلا capture that and start وظيفة, بالذات لو كانت وظيفة كويسة. So in my no, actually, it was in my 4th year in the university. I got a job, okay, and I decided to take this job وأكمل دراسة انتساب. Okay, and that job was in Riyadh, okay, and it was an aviation company, the National Air Services, what they call it NAS today, before it becomes FlyNAS. All right, so my first job was in a flight operation center, doing a very hard job, scheduling crew, making like customer service duties for VIP people who are the office managers for the ministers in the country, because we were at that time managing and operating the private jets of the government, and ministers only were allowed to use these private jets. So at that time, guess what? My English was a standard high school English, okay? Verbal, written, everything. And I learned English the hard way. I mean, I was in a situation where they told me, look, whether you speak and write properly or you will be fired. So I started my career this way. I mean, with this aggressiveness. And it was very aggressive startup, and I'm proud. It was aggressive because I learned a lot.
Yeah.
It shaped my skills very well. It made me more punctual, more accurate, more detail-oriented. Because, you know, in aviation, mistakes are not allowed.
Absolutely.
You cannot make a mistake, okay? أبيض وأسود. From that start, it takes around 4 to 5 years. I started to shift from that industry to another industry because I didn't want to stuck in aviation. There were a lot of options in aviation. ما في إلا الناس وخطوط سعودية. That's it at that time. And I learned how to manage resources, how to schedule crew, how to make an efficient operations. And from there, I started to go through other industries, but working on the same thing: people, HR, administrative affairs, more support services. And I kept doing that across oil and gas, retail, FMCG. But once I landed to the FMCG in PepsiCo in particular, I started to become more of HR business partnering manager for the KSA operations for the sales and distributions. That means half of me supposed to be HR and the other half supposed to be commercial, all right? I started to fall in love again with the commercials. Okay. That's what I studied. My major was marketing, by the way. Okay, but I haven't had the chance to practice marketing. I only was practicing HR, managing people, and support services. And from there, I started to shift towards more strategic roles. So I left PepsiCo. I joined البنك المركزي, SAMA. I built the performance management from scratch. There were no performance management at SAMA at that time, 2013.
The policies?
The whole thing. System, technology, policies, procedures,
MashaAllah.
KPIs, smart goals, everything. Competency frameworks, behavior competencies, technical competencies, leadership competencies. It
MashaAllah.
was a very tough job, and I wasn't doing that by my own. I mean, I was the one who's managing as a project manager, but we hired a lot of consultants that SAMA has a lot of money, by the way.
Yeah.
So we hired KPMG to help us with something that we made a big failure at that time. We built the system, a robust system. We've done everything. All the organizational process assets, we made it ready. Policy and procedures, processes, systems, everything. And by the way, I was working at that time with a couple of software engineering firms and stuff like that, where I started to shape my technology skills and going back again to something that I started in childhood, which is adoption to the technology and innovation. Okay? So we made a mistake. We built everything and we expected to launch and everything to be fantastic. And we forget something called change management. Okay?
Crucial point.
And that cost us a lot of money to hire KPMG to start working from scratch, how to take people from A to Z, how to take them from the comfort zone to the uncertain, to the unknown. So KPMG and I, we've been working in the change management. It was an amazing exercise. At that time, by the way, a couple of years before I go to SAMA, I finished my MBA. And I applied for the scholarship, برنامج ملك عبد الله للابتعاث at that time, and I got accepted for a PhD.
MashaAllah.
And I got accepted as well from one of the Ivy League universities. And I was خلاص, I will leave SAMA and I will go to do my PhD. So KPMG, after they finished the exercise and after I finished the project, they offered me a job.
All right.
And I was like, oh man.
Here we go again.
Those are big four, and I've enjoyed working with them, and I've been inspired by their expertise and what should I do. So استخرت. المشكلة, the problem actually it was يعني مركبة in a somehow. I got acceptance for PhD. My wife got acceptance for her master's, so it's not only about me. So if I'm gonna make the decision, I have to convince her. Okay, and it cost me a lot, by the way. So
was it worth it?
Yes,
Alhamdulillah.
it was, and
الحمد
I
لله.
never regret it. So I استخرت الله. I decided to join KPMG. I joined. I started to master something called change management, and I've been working in a lot of mini engagements. At that time, I was a senior manager for people and change in KPMG. I worked with restructuring وزارة الحج. I worked with Fagih Poultry. At that time, Allah yarhamu Sheikh Abdurrahman Awladu, they were my clients. I worked with ExxonMobil APSCO. And it was amazing journey. And also at that time I was enrolled with KPMG Global in a program called the Emerging Leaders.
Okay.
And that was the first leadership, by the way, program for myself. It was 16 months program.
MashaAllah.
Very long, but it shaped me, and I become like Bander version 2. Okay.
Okay.
So from there, I started to become someone else. Not only an HR person, not only I become more an organizational leadership person,
Right.
an expert, a change management expert. And from KPMG, I left for my first C-suite job with Jabal Omar as a chief shared services officer, looking after HR, IT, admin, government, facility management, hotel operations in terms of people, because in the hotels that surrounding Al Haram at that time, we owned not only the building, even the people and everything. I mean, the operators, Hilton, Marriott, and all of those, they were just a brand who operates, but we owned everything. So it was big assignment. And I remember that time I went to the partner and I told him, look, Jabal Omar is our client, and they offered me triple salary and this size of a job and responsibility. What should I do? Yani KPMG partner, he told me, you know, Bander, it seems very good opportunity. Yani, go and we will still friends. And that's exactly what happened. I went to Jabal Omar and I hired KPMG. I hired my team, اللي أنا كنت مديرهم,
Nice.
to do the policy and procedures and processes and everything. After Jabal Omar, just to keep it short, I went for 3 years. I established a company, and I made the same that we were doing in KPMG, but we focused on SMEs and startups. All right, and I was also seconded by شركة الخليج لمنشآت as a coach for entrepreneurship and consultant.
So this is a whole new path into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, yeah.
What started that? What triggered that?
Very good question.
Yeah, and you were going corporate.
Look, from Sama, being engaged in the technology and the software engineering and stuff like that triggered خلاص the innovation يعني mood. I want to do more creative stuff. I want to go more and find solutions to Jabal Omar. We did the same because الIT كان تحتي. So we've done a lot of digital transformation. So being inspired by digitizing and finding more innovative solutions, بديت ديك الساعة أدخل في هذا. At that time, I was enrolled in a Babson program for a mini MBA for SMEs growth, and that inspired me more.
MashaAllah.
So after that, I got licensed and certified from the World Bank as a coach for entrepreneurship. I've done my homework before I started that. I got accreditations in how to coach people for entrepreneurship and startup, and I fell in love with that. Right. And I'm still, by the way, I'm still hooked. By the way, I'm still hooked. Alas, the only reason that made me or bring me back to the employment mode is the pandemic. We lost a lot of money, and كان عندنا a lot of operations, a lot of employees في رياض, في جدة, في كيك. And pandemic, it was a different story. So after that, I accepted a job to become a chief transformation officer in Petromin. And until now, I'm still doing the same job. Petromin, if you noticed, it was a low profile company, and we've become now a high flyer.
MashaAllah.
So it was one piece of company. Now we are 9 companies تحت مظلة parent company.
MashaAllah.
يعني بدون تفاصيل كثير, we see ourselves as a market player and a leading multinational في integrated mobility solutions من وكالات سيارات لأفتر ماركت للصيانة للlubricants للسيارات للAV وشحن سيارات كهربائية لقطع الغيار and stuff like that. Here you go.
Bander, mashallah, يعني you mentioned HR, you mentioned change management, you mentioned transformation, you mentioned coaching, right? So there's all of these experiences. If we are today to say the go-to service that we're looking for and we want to think Bander, what would it be?
That's a very good question, actually. Look, if you want to build a task force to deliver critical initiatives, okay, that will realize major مثلا goals in the 2030 agenda, call me. If you need to create an innovative team and creative team, call me. I know how to bring them. I know how to build these teams. If you want to build cross-functional teams to get things faster and quicker, let me know. If you want to establish a new company or you need partners, let me know. By the way, whenever I say let me know, I don't mean only for the paid services. I mean, it could be a partnership. It could be ask me as a friend. I will help. I made a lot of mistakes and I've been through a lot of failures and I learned a lot of stuff. I can help. So whether in corporate...
Be careful how much you offer as a volunteer.
No, actually, look.
We can end up milking that.
I told you, let me repeat again my passion. I'm very focused, by the way, in my passion. I'm passionate about people and organizations' success.
Nice.
And this passion, in particular, people, is something that I enjoy doing even without getting paid.
Nice.
Okay?
Mashallah.
Why? Because at certain stage in my life, I suffered from having nobody to help. So I would love to help. And by the way, offering even a friend advice, it could open a lot of chances and opportunities
Very
and
true.
partnerships and strategic partnerships and ايد واحدة ما تصفق ولا ايدين, by the way, nowadays.
صحيح.
Okay? You need more hands to clap. So I believe we have a very serious objectives to realize at the country level. And we need to collaborate and we need to figure out ways to partnership together to deliver faster. Because the 2030 objective is just the beginning, by the way, just the initial infrastructure for the whole country.
It's very true.
And then we need to build
So we're
over
accelerating
this,
after that.
we need to build on that infrastructure. So
صح. 2030 is بعد بكرة. It's the day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
So يعني literally we need to be thinking already beyond that.
Yeah.
طيب ما شاء الله تبارك الله. I think we realize today that from Bander and even from Toba, leaders have certain يعني أوجه تشابه. You know, there are a lot of similarities when it comes to the core personality, irrelevant of the experiences and is irrelevant of where you've worked before. But there's a core inner, like deeper thing, which is both of you were all about giving back, you know? And maybe it's not actually giving back, because giving back is something that you've already taken from and then you're giving, right? That's giving back. But when you're giving without actually having taken in the first place, it seems to be a default of leaders, yani, because that's what actually leadership is, right? That's the difference between a manager and a leader, is the giving. It's the giving part. وسبحان الله يعني تقدم الخير تلاقي الخير. هذه قاعدة ربانية يعني it has nothing to do with us. تقدم الخير تلاقي الخير. Thank you Bander so much, and the floor is to you. I'm sure there are plenty of questions as well. تفضل.
Bander, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
I heard you mention that your passion is people and organization success and happiness. I'm curious to know how you define happiness and success.
How
you define happiness?
That's good. That's good. Look, this is a deep question actually, and people perceive it differently. I mean, how they identify the happiness. Let's focus on the happiness here. Well, I identify happiness as a peace of mind. All right? Why people want to become billionaires? Because they want to be free and living in a peace of mind. They want to be, they want to own themselves. Okay? So, and I link the happiness with success because this is what people pursue every day. Why they wake up early morning, why they go to work, why they keep, impatient and they've been given hard time to deliver a lot, and sometimes they don't have pleasant bosses, and there are a lot of challenges because they want to grow, they want to be successful, they want to become free at the end. Okay, so this is something. This is how I look to the happiness. I mean, when people see their path towards their purpose to become more successful, okay, they will feel more happy and they will progress. And there's something else, there is another angle. If you do what you love and what you're passionate about, you will become happy and you will add more happiness hours to your life every day. And that's why when I was explaining that, I got hooked with more entrepreneurship and innovation because I found happiness there. I mean, although, yeah, I love doing a lot of, and I'm experienced in doing a lot of corporate stuff. But if you ask me where you enjoy more, I enjoy helping people. I enjoy guiding people towards the right compass, you know, the right North Star, helping them to see their purpose and to keep running after their purpose, to see their strengths and to go towards something they love to do. And I see them happy, smiling, doing whatever they do with passion. So, yeah.
Bander, if you were asked this question 15 years ago, would you define happiness in the same way?
No.
So happiness, I think, is something that evolves.
Evolving with the maturity level.
Yes, it evolves.
And not only with the maturity, I mean, with the self-awareness.
Hey.
The more you become aware about yourself, the more you become mature, the more
your definition of happiness changes.
The definition. I remember one day, one ad for one of the local banks, without saying the name. So there was a guy, a wise, mature guy, صورة, okay? حلمي أن أعيش براحة بال. That's it. So I was يعني كنت واقف في الإشارة and I looked at that sign. وقعدت متنح يعني اعتقد الاشاره فتحت والناس صاروا يدقوا لي البوري عشان امشي. I was like, what kind of goal is this? And when I went back and I started to read and to reflect, I figured out everything we do to reach that goal.
صحيح.
Everything. Even if you want to own your own jet plane, ولا your own island, ولا your own حتى yacht, ولا why you're doing that? Why? Peace of mind. There are shorter ways, by the way. So you don't have to have your own private jet to acquire that peace of mind.
That's true. Actually, you might end up having a whole huge headache, يعني, but that's another thing.
Yeah.
طيب, great. تفضل.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
My question for you, throughout your career journey, I heard several times, I recruited my team to do so-and-so, my previous team. I heard I hired X company to do so-and-so. But for a person who's passionate about mentorship and coaching, can you share with us a success story where you inherited a team and you managed to turn around average with your performance, poor performance, and then developed stars for the future?
Yeah, I had a lot of stories like that, by the way. Thank you. I tell you what comes now at the top of my mind. I've never prepared for this interview, by the way, so I tell you whatever I just remember right now. I remember I worked with my relatives at certain stage in my life, Bin Dawood Group, okay? And I was leading their HR across Bin Dawood and Danube, kingdom-wise. And I remember there were Filipino guys, okay, working in the archive. There were a smart Filipino guy doing nothing. He was just sitting inside the archive at that time, paper archive. كان عندنا archive كتير كل ملفات موظفين ما ادري ايش في ال HR department. And he was doing nothing. And I, from day one, I was interviewing everyone to assess their strengths. Okay, this is what I do, by the way. Every job I go, the first thing I do an interview, I sit down with people, not like an interview, like a coffee chat, whatever. And this guy, he speaks English well. I tested his writing skills. He was fine. And the way he speaks, he was fluent. I mean, everything is perfect though with the guy. I mean, why he's in the archive room doing nothing? And the only job that they give to him is just to arrange the archive, and whenever they ask for anything, they bring it for them, and that's it. So I took that guy and I appointed him as my assistant at that time, and I was the HR director. And although I was in that time in need of a brilliant assistant, because you know, good assistants make you successful, بالذات في البدايات. But I took the risk, and I said, you know, this guy, I believe he's gonna be a good one. And just to cut it short, that guy became a very brilliant one. I mean, he became a material of a CEO assistant, by the way, at some point. This is one of the examples. Another example, I remember early in 2005.
You managed to do that.
That's good. Okay, let's take this example again. خلاص. I used to give him tasks, a bit challenging tasks, to see what is the ultimate and the optimum performance he can perform. Okay, so I give him these challenging tasks not for the sake of making him, to push him to make mistakes, ولا to make him fail. I just wanted to test فين أعلى شيء عندك. زي لما أركب سيارة وأشوف أدعس بيها أشوف أسرع سرعة تجيب لي السيارة. After I realized his strengths, and after I realized where he can go, يعني إيش الأعلى limit يقدر يوصل له, I started to manage on relying more on him to delegate more of these tasks that he can do, and through delegation, a bit of coaching and trust, and solving his problems, not only the work problems. And by the way, this is, if I wanna leave one of the takeaways here out of experience, if you want people to trust you and follow you, solve their own problems, their family problems.
Yeah.
They will adore you. They will trust you. They will follow wherever you go, even in the dark. Okay?
Yeah.
So I solved a lot of problems about that guy. So with the set of actions that I made, mashallah, yani he was ready to evolve. So that's what I do. But in general, just to answer your question properly, delegate, coach, give them a chance, give them challenging tasks, and coaching not only for the technical stuff, even for the soft skills. I mean, coach them how to manage their times. By the way, time management is one of the problems across
Very true.
everybody.
So
Okay?
you empower them as well.
Empower them by doing something that you're really good at, and show them. Bring them next to you, open your calendar and show them the tricks and stuff that you do with your calendar to make you more focused. I mean, show them how to write an email. Write down some drafts. Now we have the chat GPT and stuff like that, but earlier we don't have that.
True.
So we have our in drafts, عندنا شوية templates where we copy paste ونضبط الإيميل. Give them these templates. Don't keep it for yourself. Share it with them. Tell them, give them the tricks, like if you have خلاص عندك standard answers here, عندك standard emails, use it. So empower people with those, and don't be afraid. Even they're gonna become one day يعني in your level or even better. Don't be afraid to work with people, even if they are more powerful than yourselves. So this is what I do.
MashaAllah. Actually, I think the secret is when the people around you that need help, so you're supporting them and helping them and empowering them to raise up and skill up and scale up, etc. But then also keep around you the people that are better than you.
Yeah.
Because it's the opposite. مو بس don't be afraid. لا, I want to surround myself with who's better than me. لأنه otherwise I'm not going to learn anything.
Yeah.
صح ولا لا? The curiosity part.
By the way, I want to add something. Those people, one day they're going to become leaders, and you don't imagine how they're going to help you.
True.
I've been working as a HR head, and there are plenty of people who work under me today. They are CHROs. Okay.
MashaAllah.
You don't know, يعني ما تتخيلوا حجم انه لو ترفع سماعه بس على احد بس مستنيك تتصل عليه عشان يخدمك. منتظر الفرصه انك تطلب عشان يخدم. فذاتس
So أجل كمان to add to go to
let me
is
know,
الوساط والمعارف.
let me know, let me
All
know,
right.
let me know. If you want to hire someone, let me know.
طيب ممتاز. Anybody else any other questions؟ تفضلي طوبة.
I have a question. My favorite song in life is I Did It My Way by Frank Sinatra. And my reason is there is this line. It says, there were times I bit off more than I can chew.
Yeah.
So when you're
Very
talking
true.
about time management, overloading yourself, especially when you expose yourself to free mentoring and giving and too many demands on your personal time, how do you handle that? Has there been a time where you felt, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed?
That's a very good question. Look, ما راح أتفلسف كثير بس هعطيك تجربتي الشخصية. Before even you start to manage your time or find ways, self-realization, okay, awareness, and understanding your purpose and your goals, exactly like we do in our businesses. We have that strategic goal and we cascade it to annual operating plans. Exactly, you can do the same for your life, okay? Cascade, what are the core objectives, prioritize, and then use technology. Do not rely on your memory, okay? يعني الحياة هذه
We learned that the hard way.
If I open my mobile now, you will find in the first page, on my home page, a widget of my calendar and few stuff that I use on daily basis. No social media, nothing. I can't find them if I want. But because I realize more about myself, I realize my subconscious behaviors. And when I have an anxiety or when I get stressed, I open my mobile and it just unconsciously, I open LinkedIn, I open WhatsApp, I open a lot of stuff. And I do things I don't know why I'm doing them. Okay? So I just eliminate everything that would distract me. I keep my calendar قدامي and I live and die with my calendar. Okay? If I remember anything, I use Siri, I use technologies to just now remind me to do 1, 2, 3 tomorrow at 8 a.m., whatever. Okay? Even if it is not a proper time. I will shift it later on. I will prioritize, but I will not forget anything. And I have two folders. I have tasks and I have backlog. If you have idea, keep shooting في الباكلوج. One day you will have free time. أدخل الباكلوج هتلاقي أفكار كثير وأشياء تبي تسويها. Just schedule them. Use the technology. خلاص? And technology is becoming more amazing and amazing by the way. يعني it's evolving بشكل الكالندر ما هو عادي الكالندر حقنا اللي صار متطور صار فيه شيء كثير. You can link things together. I mean
That's very true. But يعني there is also a very nice flavor to spontaneous. Give me the word. Spontaneity. صح؟ يعني it has a flavor. يعني when everything is super structured, everything is in the calendar, going, you know, يعني hour by hour, ما أمداني طب I shifted it to the next day, which is a very important thing. I totally agree. بس يعني حتة you know, being spontaneous sometimes and just, you know, jumping off and doing something.
Yeah. Do it.
يعني it's a breather.
It has nothing to do.
It's يعني كده يمكن sparks the creativity. It revives الdullness اللي ممكن يصير, you know, with following calendars وكده. So يعني you're a creative person obviously. You do a lot of things. So يعني do you have this كده?
I do.
Out of the okay.
I do.
There you go.
Look, every morning I wake up very early by the way. And I figured out something called Einstein window. Okay, that not only kids that learn fast, even ourselves. بس تغيروا kids they learn fast all the way صباح ليل whatever. يعني عندهم سن يتنقش فيه كل شيء نقش. We can learn and remember very well in the very early morning hours.
حتى لو نايم متأخر؟
أنا ما أنام متأخر.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
شبعان نوم, 8 hours sleep.
And by the way, I don't used to be like that.
Okay.
This is another version. It's V3 now. Okay.
Right.
Where I sleep early. لأنه اكتشفت إنه في الليل ما في شيء يفوتني. It's not يعني الصباح is more premium time. You will have your Einstein window. You can learn a lot. You can early morning look at your calendar and identify what are the top 3 tasks that if you did today it will be a victory. بس ما يحتاج ترى كل التاسك كان لو تشوف الكالندر مليان. فين التوب 3 اللي if I خلاص لما اجي انام خلاص اطالع كده انه oh my god I'm happy done and the rest خلاص مو مشكله يعني في كده matrix اللي all of you know it important not important urgent not urgent use it شخمط جيب ورقه الصباح you can يعني prioritize what are the top 3 tasks today and مثلا tomorrow if you have time يعني to look after tomorrow في الكالندر بس ترتب. That's it.
Absolutely. Well, so okay, go ahead.
You mentioned Einstein. What you learn this Einstein by learning, by reading, what you do.
What how I took the advantage out of it.
How did you learn of it?
يعني أنت you're gonna make me reveal a lot of secrets here.
وهو المطلوب.
Look, I'm committed to continuous learning. Okay, this is something like في بيني وبين نفسي ميثاق إنه I keep learning every day. So I have in terms of flexibility, I have kind of flexibility to learn. First, if I went to the gym early morning, okay, باخذ الايباد حقي بحطه كده على التريدميل وبتفرج نص ساعة new course. LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, edX, whatever. There are plenty of very good contents. That time you will remember everything and you will perceive everything. يعني نص ساعة من التعليم ترى it will add a lot of value to yourself.
True.
But that if you are passionate about something or if you want to learn something new. And I want to add a takeaway here. That's something I learned from an expert. He's a professor. I forget his name, Dispenza, something like that. Yes, Joe. This guy speaks a lot about how you change yourself, okay? And I remember, and correct me if I was wrong, this guy, طبعا احنا الحمد لله كلنا بخير بس دائما نطلع انه نكون افضل صح؟
صح.
This guy speaking about changing yourselves and ourselves and he says, if you want to change your reality, change your personality. تسمع الكلام هذا it doesn't make sense. How I'm going to change? I don't want to change my personality. I love who I am. But if you dig deeper in what he says, احنا بالذات بعد سن ال 35 everything that we experienced earlier, okay, build patterns or concepts and beliefs and a lot of stuff. And you need to break that لأنه كل الأفكار هذه صارت wired وكل ما لا تصير أقوى وكل
إعادة فرمتة يعني.
خلاص يعني حتى if you keep telling yourself أنا ما أقدر أتعلم أسباني ولا فرنسي حيزيد ويزيد لما خلاص يصير impossible. So you need to break that. And to break it في many ways بس أختصر لك هي واربطها بالlearning. Learning new stuff will create new experience that will create new behaviors that will create new concepts that will create new personality. Okay? فمن هنا يبدأ يتغير your personal reality. بس.
احنا مأمورين بيها اقرأ.
Use the Einstein window. Use it properly. It's a gift by the way.
طيب ما شاء الله يعني definitely الكلام لا يمل و there's so many layers بس for the sake of time management we're going to have to stop here and thank you very much. It was very enlightening, very يعني inspiring.
Thank you very much.
And again, thank you everybody for being here, for supporting this initiative and we look forward inshallah every bi-weekly to have two of the leaders to يعني shed the light on themselves and not forget how we can collaborate together. And that's what it's all about. So يعطيكم العافية everybody. شكرا.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
شكرا طوبة and thank you everybody for being here.